I might even put this down as the best day of my entire life. Welcome to the Bolivian Salt Flats, the #1 activity to do here in Bolivia and the #3 activity in the whole of South America, only behind the Iguazu Falls and Peru. 10,000 square kilometers, 40,000-year-old lakes form this unbelievable landscape. You could be on Mars, you could be in Iceland. It's absolutely sensational. Me and Em are going to be taking you on the full 3-day trip. The best lagoons, the best spots, the best mountains, the volcanoes, the best place to get a few of the old JPEGs. This is day 1 of 3. If you have any questions, if you enjoy what you see, bang it down below. Whilst you're down there, hit that subscribe button. Still en route to 3K subs. Let's get cooking, baby. Day #1, stop #1, Sentimento de Trenes, exactly what it says on the tin. It is a graveyard for trains. We have these in the UK, but I'm pretty sure it's just scrap metal. Quite ironic because in the early days, they said when they shut this down in the 1940s, the local Bolivians just came and just took all the scrap metal off here, but they've now kind of turned it into more of like a tourist attraction, got some flags up and a few different bits. Things of note, it's just a kind of easy stop to do. It's about 10 minutes outside of Uyuni Centre, if I can get my bloody words out, and it connected all the way to Chile on the coast, all the way into Argentina, and then they do have one line which I'm pretty sure he said runs central inland up towards the capital, which runs 2 days a week now. Nice little spot for a few little JPEGs. Let's just spin you around and see what is going on here. They've got the sign, the Uyuni sign. How many times am I going to mispronounce that in the coming weeks and days? Who bloody well knows. And the flags in the distance, a few little places if you wanted to buy like an extra jacket, keep yourself warm. And then in the distance, I'll just overlay it now, it'll probably be easier. They have like a bit that's made like the Transformers, where yeah, they've just taken like bits of scrap metal that has been left and built it up into like Bumblebee and some other things like that. So I was asking the guide, does he like the Transformers? He says only the animated or the anime version, maybe both. But yeah, nice little start. Hopefully we kick on from here. Beautiful backdrop of the mountains in the distance. And yeah, the king putting her life on the risk for the old JPEGs as usual. Things you love to see. Stop #2, Colchani Salt Processing Village. There are 25 billion tons of salt on the entirety of the salt flats, and they process 25 million tons for export every single year here. Pretty mad setup. Our guide, as you can see behind me, all this salt here. I'll take you through like the little souvenir place and you can like practice like the manufacturing process. Our guide has made about 5 or 6 jokes. I mean like, oh, it's not a certain white substance, so we know what he likes to get up to at the weekend. A little bit of a loose bloke, but back in the olden days, the indigenous people used to pack the llamas up, loads and loads of salt, and take them over to Taraji, where they'd return with maize and cocoa, which obviously they couldn't grow here. And you definitely need the cocoa because you will be getting a splitting headache, and that is the thing that's going to sort you out. Here he is in front, the main man himself. But yeah, this is like the little thatch bit where you can practice shoveling some of the old salt quarries. Loads of different like sculptures if you want to buy. And then I'll overlay now this little spot over here. Had a go at trying to like seal them. The amount of bags that have been ruined in the process. But yeah, you can fire up on the flame there. It's a cool little spot. I'd probably say this is a 20-25 minute maximum 30-minute spot, and then they have a little room if you are looking for a few of the old souvenirs just through here. Do you know what I mean? You can use some extra warm clothes, or if you're in the market, this is very much I went to Bolivia and found myself shopping experience, as you can see. But yeah, good little pit stop, 30 minutes from Uyuni, and the first stop, keep it moving. Stairway of Heaven coming up very, very shortly, baby. Stop #3, short 10-minute drive, Ojos de Solar, Eyes of the Solar, and this is quite significant. If you like your geography, if you like your geology, like G-dubs, it's quite significant. So they have small pockets of air that come up and create these like little freshwater lagoons. So obviously you see the air coming up here. These are obviously just little small ones, and then all the way around over here. A few little cool spots of pictures. Em put her hand in there. What did it do to your hand, Em?
It all went white and now it's really soft, which I'm really surprised at. And it's really cold, obviously.
Yeah, there you go. So high mineral content. I'm going to be guessing at calcium, but you know, if you know why, bang it down in the comments. But yeah, it's just an absolutely ridiculous landscape. You could feel like this is very much a place that reminded me of like Iceland. You're in a place which is so different to home. You've got the mountains in the backdrop, and yeah, it's unbelievably flat. These are the two like main lagoons that they talk about when they talk about Eyes of the Solar, and as we kind of walk over, you can see all the different flags. I couldn't find a UK flag, couldn't find an England flag, the things you hate to see, so we might have to just celebrate the best country in the world, aka Japan, or maybe Australia, one of the old two. And then this is a little spot if you want to do the pictures where it's like the perspective where you have like the dinosaurs and stuff. I think it's like 10 Bolivianas, which is like £1.20 for 6 photos, and they've got all the different dragons, dinosaurs and stuff lined up here. So we might be doing a few of these later, might be doing a few of these now. The couple on the tour that we're joined up with, I think we'll be doing it, but there's loads of different ones that you can kind of do here. So yeah, I would highly recommend. But yeah, I think for me, this is the best stop so far. I think the first two are cool. I mean, you get a little bit of history, but when you're out in the open, in the unknown, this is a bit of G-dubs. This is a bit of me. Unbelievable setup. This place is absolutely sensational. The scenery is unbelievable. We're halfway through the trip. I think the first 2 stops, obviously the salt production, seeing the railway, that's cool, but you get in the mix, you get in the wilderness, and I tell you what, it's a straight 10 out of 10 so far. We've just stopped for a little bit of the old lunch wari, cooked up this little chicken Milanese number, absolutely top drawer. You're inside this little building. It was the first salt hotel. They just turned it into like a little communal space now where people can come cook their lunch when they're on the tours. It's called Dakar Point, and the tour guide was explaining to it for about 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes about how there was a big rally here. And like, I was like, God, it's about a big African rally. And I was like, it's a long way to come for an African rally. Like, how did they do that in the middle of nowhere? It was a bloody car rally, wasn't it? So absolute fresh pup G-dubs had an absolute mare with that. But the scenery here is absolutely unbelievable. And there's all different flags. We're yet to find an England flag. The people on our trip found the India one, they found the Australia one, but we're still in search. And it's just such when you just look out into the distance and people are just walking, wandering, and there is just nothing for mile after mile after mile. Hopefully you're seeing some nice, crispy drone footage, me running up that hill, the king on the old sticks. But yeah, the scenery here is an absolute joke. Cannot speak highly enough, and the journey is only but beginning. So yeah, otherworldly, like being on Mars, like being in Iceland. For me, it's straight 10 out of 10 so far. It's gonna have to fall from grace if we're gonna get anything worse than this. So yeah, absolute banger. Every part of today has been elevated. We've been going up a level each step of the way, and we finally made it to the Pierre de la Resistance, the best stop maybe of the 3 days. Hopefully it's not, because we've got the volcanoes, we've got the lagoons, and we've got the flamingos all in front of us, but this is sensational. I think for me, I always describe Iceland as one of like the most best experiences I've ever done, because you're in a planet, a place which is so unworldly, so different to what you've ever seen before, and this is the exact same. It might even peak the Great Wall of China, which I always say is my favorite, like one specific thing, one specific day. This is absolutely unbelievable. The landscape here is a geographer's and geologist's wet dream. If you enjoy your JPEGs, if you enjoy your MP4 files, this is going to be the spot for you. It's unbelievable. Super flat. Obviously you've got the hexagonal shape of all the salt due to like the water level coming up depending on the rainy season, and obviously depositing it. Unbelievable. We've got all the mountains in the backdrop. It's absolutely sensational. We've had the drone up, me and Em running, sprinting. It's about 3,800 meters above sea level, so you better enjoy the drone footage, because yeah, it was absolute carnage on the old cardio. You can also do like the perspective photos here. So the team had us like dancing out of a little can propped up on a big pile of salt, and then you can do the ones if you bring like a dinosaur and stuff, like we did at the other stop. But for me, this is better. You get the cool photos with the perspective, the different dinosaurs, the Goku, etc. At the other place. However, here you've just got the whole landscape to yourself. I'm looking left, looking right behind now. There is no one else here apart from our little van. It's unbelievable. The guys are super friendly. They've got us dancing, they've got us singing. I've got the guy driving the car with Emma out the window, flying the drone behind to get you the crispy JPEGs and really bring this landscape to life. When you're stood here, it's unbelievable. Like taking normal photos, for me, probably top 3 thing I've ever done in my entire life. When you get that top-down level view, I always say that aerial view, it really brings the landscape to life. So for me, it says 2 things. 1, this 100% needs to be on your list. One of the best things I've ever done in my entire life. And 2, you need to get a drone. It is absolutely unbelievable. The sun's beating down. We've got a perfect day for it. That's another thing that I would say. obviously it's a super dry place here. It doesn't rain that often, but in about 3 days time it is a little bit gloomy and a little bit overcast. So make sure you've got a good day, because you're going to experience it a lot better, you're going to enjoy it a lot more, and you're going to get these crispy JPEGs. So yeah, for me, as I say, could be the top thing that I've ever done in my entire life. It's definitely top 2 with the Great Wall of China. Let's see how the day finishes off. Little sunset, baby. Penultimate stop of the day, Isla Inca, meaning House of the Inca, and it's another ruthless setup, straight 10 out of 10 from the team. It used to be a little point that the Incas put a little house at when they were travelling across the old salt flats, because, tell you what, it must have been a hell of a long way on the back of a llama or on foot, whichever way they used to fly across the place. In terms of what it was or what it is, it used to be a volcano, so you get a lot of igneous rock in there, and it just pops up like the landscape out of nowhere. It's not super high. You need about an hour here to walk kind of up and around, and it has some massive cacti. We've just been having that discussion with the old tour guide. What is the plural for cactus? For me, cacti, but you know what I mean, we can roll with that. This is the only one you have to pay to get into today, 30 Bolivianas, so you're looking at about £3, again, pretty economical, and you kind of meander your way up 10-metre cactus. There's some apparently at 40 metres. We were yet to see them, but we did learn the most prickly ones on the way up there are the female ones, so there is a little lesson to be learned there. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to be getting some daggers online for that. And then the final thing, you get to the top, beautiful vantage point, looking out into the distance again, all the way over the salt flats, 360-degree panoramic views, getting those directly into the bones, directly into the retinas, and it's just a beautiful little spot as you're watching the sun just dropping out the sky as we come to kind of towards the end of our day. The guide was telling us in August, every single weekend, they sacrifice a llama on top of there for various different reasons, whether it's like wealth, prosperity, good health, etc. So yeah, not sure what it is in Bolivia, but they love and hate the old llamas. But again, for me, beautiful spot, beautiful stop. And if you are coming here, it's got to be on the list, baby. Woo-hoo, we got a little sunset coming, yeah, baby. The final check-in of the day, and one of the best days I've had in my entire life. We've got a beautiful sunset falling out the sky, going behind the mountains. I had a tiny little bit of footage, tiny little bit of space on my SD card, which I'll get sorted tonight, so we'll be back in the game tomorrow. But hopefully you just got some delicious scenes going straight into the old eyes as we speak. It's just a ruthless landscape. You just got cars. There's so much space for everyone. There's people every, like, I don't know, like 500 meters maybe. So you are just in the wilderness, in there on your own. And it's been an absolutely phenomenal day. Highlight, it's tough. The sunset, beautiful. I really enjoyed the Inca House point. Again, phenomenal 360 views. But for me, it's always going to be what we came here to see, the Uyuni Salt Flats, if I can even get my words out right. Do you know what I mean? The hexagonal shapes, it is exactly what you see online. So for me, phenomenal, straight 10 out of 10. If day 2 and day 3 offer anywhere near what we've seen today, then you know what I mean, we're in for an absolute treat. We did learn a few little things. The salt flats here have 70% of the entire world's lithium, which they only found out in like recent years. So the Chinese and the Americans are absolutely all over the place mining. So I think in coming years, you'll see more and more mining operations. So if you are going to come here, get it on the list super quick. I'm going to flip the camera around now because I was just about to do the final checkout, but the sky, pink, purple, it's just absolutely unbelievable. Earlier I said this might be the best place I've ever been to, and I can 100% confirm it absolutely is. I might even put this down as the best day of my entire life. We're going to be checking into a little hotel in the middle of nowhere. It's 25 minutes from here, so I'm not sure what we're going to be staying in, but what I'm going to do is day 2, day 3, I'll do a little room tour tomorrow. We're going to be checking out flamingos, volcanoes, different areas of the salt flats, so the content is going to be absolutely sensational, scintillating, sexual, all combined into one. If you have any questions about things we've done today or in coming days, bang it in the comments. I respond to every single message. Whilst you're down there, hit that subscribe button. Still en route to 3K subs. The chef is not cooking today. He's taking in this ruthless landscape, and you need to get it on the list, baby. Peace.